Lake Powell is a beautiful place. It's absolutely incredible. People come from all over the world to go to Lake Powell. And obviously, you'll know that I have a connection with Lake Powell and with mustangs. I always tie it in together somehow. And I've been going out there since I was a tiny little kid. And our family would always go out there with a boat. And we would camp on the shoreline there. We'd go out on the lake. It's a very big lake. It's actually about 254 square miles. It is big and it shares the border of Arizona and Utah. The Glen Canyon Dam was made in 1966, so my parents were around when the lake was becoming a lake, and it was somewhere that everyone wanted to go. And I love driving Mustangs out there, so there's always people out there with nice exotic cars that drive up, mostly new trucks and SUVs who are going to the lake to visit, but I always like to see Mustangs out there, and I always like taking mine out there, so you'll see a lot of that. And this is a picture of my V6 Mustang, obviously, because that's when my wife and I started driving out there to the lake with our own Mustang. And so it's just somewhere that's really cool to go, nice drive, and I'm going to show pictures and videos of that here. And you'll see a little bit about Page, Arizona, which is the town right by Lake Powell, and that is a town that's thrived because of the lake. And there's a lot of Mustangs in that town. I've seen them on and off as I've traveled out there throughout the years. And of course, being a huge tourist site, there have always been rental car Mustangs there. It seems like tons of people rent Mustangs from nearby Vegas or wherever, and they'll drive to Lake Powell. So on that highway, you always see Mustangs, and you still see them with the rental car agencies. So pretty cool to see. So growing up, I always went with my family, and we'd go camp on the beach. But really, the ideal way to do Lake Powell is new wake boats, staying on houseboats, and wave runners, jet skis, sea-doos, all that kind of stuff. And so that's what was really fun in the last 15 years that my wife and I have been married. We've had friends out there who have had families who own houseboats and new wake boats and stuff. And they've invited us to go out there and have fun because their parents would let us all go out there as married couples and just hang out on the houseboat and have it for the weekend. So this is a group of my friends all out there at the lake with the wake boat and on the wave runners. These were turbocharged Honda wave runners that were really fast. I remember my friends and I going out there and doing 0 to 60 because they have a digital dash readout and just having a lot of fun and just thinking this is like as fast as a supercharged Mustang. And then of course the boat, and it's me driving the boat having fun. But we go up here, and a lot of these pictures I want to mention are when the lake was high. So here's me jumping off a cliff. They call it cliff jumping into the deep water off the canyons. And my wife and me, when we first got married, we go out there all the time and stuff. And so anyway, here's the lake, here's the houseboat area where tons of houseboats are. This is the best way to do Lake Powell. This is how a lot of the wealthy people around here go out there and have a great time. This is the houseboat we used to stay on with my wife's friends. So this is the way to do it. And the fun thing about the houseboat is it would stay in the slip, and it's hooked up to power, so you'd have air conditioning, you have all the luxuries of living, and then you can take the wake boat and the wave runners and you can go out and play. And then when it gets way too hot, you can come in and make lunch and have a refrigerator and all that kind of stuff like that. But so this is inside the houseboat, and this is at night hanging out with my wife's friends. We're all married couples, and these guys and I would play kind of like a poker game, but instead of money, we just play for Swedish fish. And you can see I'm cleaning the house. It was really fun. I was playing and just acting like I was really good, but I was just like being really good just by chance and luck. And it was funny because they were all freaking out and wondering, how are you doing so well? But I love this picture because it reminds me of that. But this is just a little bit of what the life at Lake Powell is like with friends and the luxury it is. Obviously, I don't have a houseboat or anything like this, and but it's always fun to go use other ones. Now this one's called the Arizona Sunrise. This is another houseboat where my family used to stay all the time because we had family friends who had a timeshare on that one. But here I am wakeboarding and having fun on the lake, and this is just the ultimate getaway. It's so hot around here, 110 degrees, and we'd go out here and go wakeboarding, and my wife was really good at wakeboarding and stuff. So just couple pictures of how beautiful the lake is while you wakeboard. It's somewhere to go that's beautiful to be at. It's fun to be there. And of course for me, like I say, it's a nice drive. So here's the Mustang going for a drive out to Lake Powell. It's about 2 hours away. And you just see boats parked along the side of the road, and weird little gas stations like this one in a tiny little town. But anyway, beautiful lake. And I want to show the water levels here because right now the lake's a little bit low, and I want to compare it to how it used to be. These were taken years ago. And on the way, the little town called Kanab, there's like little Mater trucks, at the grocery store, and just small town stuff. But here's the beautiful drive. You can see the Bullet parked there. This is when I took the Bullet Mustang with my wife to go with our friends and stay on the houseboat. This is the Arizona border line, and I just loved going there with the Mustang. It was just such a good trip because it was a fun drive for me. She loves the lake. I like the lake too, but beautiful place to go. And they have this old town tourist site there, so I stopped and took pictures of the Bullet there. So I just wanted to show these pictures and talk about Mustangs at the lake like I always do. And this was a bright tangerine orange Mustang, a 96 GT that was there at the lake one time. It has premium wheels on it from either an 0304 GT Premium or from a 99 to 01 Cobra. And so pretty cool to see that car there. And like I said, you go out there and you'll see some pretty neat muscle cars that are parked there. And this is just one day that I was there and I saw it there, so I had to take a picture of it. And here's the picture of my Lexus IS300 that my wife and I used to own, and we would take it out there to Lake Powell to go with friends. And I would get up early in the morning, but the friends all had an agreement that we don't go out on the wave runners alone, and so I'd be the only one awake, and I'd go for a drive around the lake because it's just such a beautiful morning, and it was a nice time to go and have the sunroof open and the windows down. And there is that little town nearby called Page, Arizona, and so I'd go to Page and go to the Walmart and get a treat and look at the Mustang magazines. And so that morning I just decided to take a picture of the Lexus with the lake in the background, so just showing how beautiful it is out here. But anyway, the drive to Lake Powell on the way to Kanab, which is a little city in Utah, there's this downhill straightaway, and this is the start of our trip. I wanted to show the pictures of the Bullet there, and then this is where we were at that point of the trip now, going out to Lake Powell. So this is the video for now. And so we were headed out there and just had to pass the semi-truck, and there's just such a nice straightaway, and you can tell there's nobody coming. And so passing this semi-truck was, it took a little bit more than I thought. He sped up quite a bit when I got going, but anyway, I just wanted to show that area. This is one of my favorite parts of the trip, the drive, when you can see so far out there. You're looking out towards, Utah, Arizona area, and it's just so flat and open, and you don't see a lot of that around where I live. And so it's really interesting to see all of that scenery. So I tried to take some scenic shots. Now when we get into the tiny little town of Fredonia and Kanab, there's always a black Trans Am parked at this trailer. I see it every time I go out there, and I can't help but look over and see it. See, there it is. It's like a Burt Reynolds Smoking the Bandit year, like a 70s, but just missed the Arizona sign there. But here we are getting into where the lake is, and it's always an exciting time when you're around here and checking that out. So here is the drive up to the lake. You can see the beautiful mountain ranges, and this is always just such a fun place to come. And so here you can see the levels kind of low. I'll talk about that in a second here. But look at that beautiful road. So awesome to go here. I actually have pictures of the Bullet right here. So it's hard to tell exactly, but the lake was a lot higher back when I took the Bullet here. But I got out here and took a picture, and some guy came by in like a Ranger truck, and he's like, "You're not allowed to park there." And I was like, "The car's idling." It had the cams in it. It was loud. I said, "The car's idling. I'm not parked. I'm just taking a picture." I mean, there's tourists there all the time taking pictures, and stopped on the side of the road. I don't know what his deal was, but anyway, I just remember that from this picture. Got out to take a nice picture and got yelled at. But anyway, beautiful picture of the Bullet there. Anyway, getting to the lake, you can see how low it is. And that whole area there used to be underwater. This is Castle Rock right there in the middle, and that had water all the way up to it. And here is the boat parking area where all the houseboats are, and you can see it's really low. So looking around, you can see the shoreline. That all used to be underwater. And actually this launch ramp for the boats is closed now. You can't even go to it. The end of it turns into mud. So but anyway, we were going in the Tahoe, and we had a little glitch where the window got stuck all the way down. So I brought all my tools, and there in the parking lot, I took the door panel off, and I started playing with the switches, and I did get the window to unfreeze, and so I thought it was just frozen. I beat on the motor and everything. The radiators looked fine, but anyway, lucky I got that because I didn't want to leave it in the heat. But there's a 1314 Black Coyote. Like I said, I love seeing Mustangs here. But anyway, it was nice to have that window working because it's going to get really hot, and I didn't want to leave the windows down on the Tahoe. And we are actually staying at the resort here at Lake Powell and kayaking, so that's something my wife wanted to do. But you can see nice houseboats there at the lake. You can see the water level's low. That's what I'm focusing on. But still a lot of people out there enjoying and taking their nice speedboats and things out and enjoying time there. So the Tahoe did a great job there, and my sister also had her brand new truck, that ZR2 Silverado. And going to the lake, I've talked about this on my Instagram, but there's always the newest, latest, and greatest model trucks there, like this Raptor that was parked there. So nice to see this. And so growing up as a kid, you walk past all these trucks in the parking lot, and usually up where they have the trailers from the speedboats still attached. And you always see brand new, latest and greatest trucks with the newest, latest and greatest, nicest boats. And so you have all these brand new trucks and Suburbans and Tahoes that have ice cold air conditioning, and that's what you look at as a kid, as what you want to grow up and be able to do, is take your family there. And so here I have my Tahoe next to a brand new Tahoe Z71 and my sister's truck there at the resort, and it's just bringing back all these childhood memories of going to the lake. And at one point my Tahoe was the latest and greatest and the newest, and now you see these other ones, and I'm very happy to have my Tahoe, but it's just always cool to see those new vehicles there. So here's a little bit of looking around. We played on the beach, and we decided just to go kayaking this time and stay at the resort. So it was actually kind of nice. We didn't have to worry about a boat not starting or a dead battery or launching the boat. And so it was just really nice to be so close and have a nice shower and a hotel to stay in, basically. So this is the view from the resort. I just took some of these to show what the resort was like and show the scenery and the water level, of course, to share with all my family and friends too who love Lake Powell. But you can see out here it is such a beautiful place. No wonder why people come here. Even though the lake's low, it's still a beautiful place to come and worth going. And so my wife and I really enjoyed being there at the resort with our kids too. And my sister had her new truck, and we were going to take it around, and it parked next to that new Tahoe. And I was actually surprised at how different the front ends are on these. Like the hood, bumpers, everything's different on the Tahoe and the truck, but they look similar. But anyway, my sister and I went to go to Page to go get some Taco Bell and McDonald's and enjoy the evening. And so we drove her truck and took it across here where you can see the lake. And so I had to get some footage of how nice that was and zoom in. You can see the dam there, the Glen Canyon Dam that I talked about earlier. And so this is just some scenery of what you get to experience when you go here. And like I said, people come from all over the world to go here, and I can totally see why. It is so diverse and beautiful, and the colors are all so awesome. And this is like driving Highway 1, is what we always joke about, just like going down the Pacific Coast Highway to some people. To us, going to Lake Powell and cruising the frontage road here is like the same thing. So I just wanted to show how nice this is and the color of the rocks and everything. Now this is headed down towards the dam, and you drive over a bridge right next to the dam here. And so you can definitely see this breathtaking view. This is just something that is so nice to enjoy and something that's fun to do, especially with my sister, because we would always be around here as kids, and now we're back here, you know, as adults doing these things ourselves with our own families. And Look how deep that is, though. There are places that are 400 or 500 feet deep in this lake, and so a lot of the area around here gets its power from Lake Powell as well. So you can see all the power station stuff set up. I've actually been down in the dam and seen the generators. Growing up, we would go there for church youth trips and stuff, and of course that was always fun going with the church leaders, and they always had somebody who had a nice boat and a houseboat to stay on and make it a really nice experience for us. And look at that view. It's just so cool to see these canyons and all this diverse location. Now, we're going to get gas here at a little gas station, and I was joking with my sister about how you never see a gas station with such a view. This is just one of those experiences where even getting gas is breathtaking when you look out and see everything. So it's just so cool that you can have a place like this and get to experience it and enjoy it with water, because the desert and water don't exactly mix. Usually it's hard to find water in the desert, and here you are with a whole civilization and gas stations and restaurants and hotels and everything, where nothing could really be here without, man-made structure supporting it. So driving back towards the area now and going to go back over the bridge. It's just so awesome to see, and the sunset and everything was nice, and just going back across the bridge and seeing how far down it really is. It's just really cool. And so I'd mentioned how I used to come out here and dream about mustangs and stuff, and that's really hard to put into words, but this little town here of Page, it always had mustangs driving around in there, and I even knew a girl from high school who moved to my town, and she was from Page, and talked about how many mustangs were there, and I think her family even had a black 2000 Mustang GT. But when you come out to the lake, it's really interesting how at night everything calms down. There's no wake, there's no noise, and you can hear all the way across the lake, and you can hear the town of Page. You can hear cars racing around, and I would just lay there on the beach and listen and be like, oh, that sounds like a Mustang. I bet there's Mustangs over there running around. And I dream about one day having a Mustang of my own, and then of course having a New Edge Mustang, because that was back when the Bullet Mustang was brand new, and I would just lay there and listen and wish that I could have one. And there was a time where my parents had considered moving to another town nearby, and it was going to be a very difficult move for my brother and me, and we were just in high school, and I remember they said maybe they could work out getting us a Bullet Mustang, to help the move and everything. Now, they didn't have tons and tons of money. It was a thing where they would sacrifice to do that for us because they loved us and wanted to try to make things better. So I just remember being there at the lake and, dreaming about the back of the Bullet with the dual exhaust and the Bullet fuel door. And so all those memories come back when I go to Lake Powell and visit. And they're good memories. They're memories about being young and, having dreams and wanting to have my cars for me, because that's what I relate to and everything. So I was just excited to take this footage and be able to record how it looks and share this with everyone. I know that a lot of people will enjoy this. And of course I'll relate it to Mustangs, because that's what this is all about and the channel is about for me. And we're going to see a couple cool Mustangs coming up here. One of them I'm really excited to show you, so the trip gets even better as far as that's concerned. But here is just the overall look of the lake, and to me it's still just amazing to look at all this and see how low it is. You can see where the water level has dropped, and it gets stormy every evening here. It's pretty cool. The clouds all come in, thunderstorms. It seems like every night there's a little bit of a rain shower, and it's just really fun. It makes things a little better. Now when you're camping, it's not that fun, so you'd always hide in the tent from the storm. But it was fun to be down on the houseboats and have the storm come in and have it be rocking the boat, and have just that diversity of a dark storm, and then it's bright and sunny the next morning. It just must be the way the weather works around here. I was showing this to my sister. There are cameras all around the truck that gives it the 360-degree parking view, and I knew there was one under the mirror, so I thought that was funny. But as it got dark, you could see these boats quietly going across the bay there. There's blinking lights on the buoys, and as it gets even more dark, you just see the moonlight, you see the blinking lights, and it just really brought back a lot of really fun memories, and it's just a peaceful place to be, and I really like going here with my family. Here's a side-by-side coming down the ramp. You know, you'll see plenty of people out there enjoying their side-by-sides as well. I've heard actually some people are getting stuck driving on the lower areas of the lake where it used to be underwater and it's really soft. But anyway, very peaceful evening, very nice to be here. So the next day we did some more kayaking, and then we came up here to the pool resort, and it's just really nice. You can have clean water to swim in and look and have the same view as the beautiful lake without all the sand and mud on your feet, which some people love, some people don't. Sometimes I like to just be a little more clean. But anyway, this is the pool. It's a really nice place to stay. Never stayed there before. Driving home, I just wanted to record some of the diverse terrain out here. Nice highway. It was 112 degrees when we left, and like I said, there's always these thunderstorms that come in the evenings out here in the desert. And sure enough, it started raining, and it was raining in the little town of Kanab where we're going to be traveling through here in a minute. And I was so surprised that it dropped from 112 degrees, and I'll show you what it drops down to, but you wouldn't believe it. So here is some diverse terrain going through the hills back home, and it's just a really cool place to see. And it started raining. Here's the raindrops, and look, drops all the way down to 69 degrees. What a change. So here's that little tourist place. It's closed now. But of course, in my mind, I get these flashbacks of the Bullet Park there for some pictures and how cool that was. And I really enjoyed stopping there and taking these pictures of the Bullet back then. And getting into Kanab, I saw a 94 to 98 Mustang GT. And it looks like it has the 98 Cobra wheels on it. That's a 1 year only wheel for the 98 Cobra. So cool to see that. I love seeing Mustangs as I'm driving around out here, like I said. And there was one I saw on the way out there, and I was hoping it was there when I got back, and sure enough, it was still there. It was parked in this parking lot, and it's an '03 Mustang GT, silver with bullet wheels, and it's an interior upgrade package car. You'll see that. I'll look in the window for a second. But this is exactly like the GT that I just bought, only not wrecked, of course, and 1 year older. It did have a little bit of damage on the quarter panel, and the side scoop vent was missing, the door handle was black, but there's the interior upgrade package headrests and the black leather, and it was a 5-speed, so pretty cool. Silver trim around the radio and the silver door pins and everything, so awesome to see. I looked underneath it. It had Flowmaster Super 10s, it looked like, or Super 44s, the short ones. So other than that, it looked like it was pretty stock. Maybe it had a set of wheel spacers on it. That's what it looks like. But I really enjoyed seeing this silver GT there, and I couldn't believe how nice this car is for sitting out in the sun. And it's like 100 degrees out there, and it's always just parked in that lot with the other cars. I think whoever owns it works there, and they all get together every day and park there, because I think I've seen it there at least a year ago or more. And so driving through, I'm always looking for Mustangs, and I did see it. So I saw it on the drive out there, and so on the drive home I wanted to pull in and stop. It's easier if you already know it's there to pull in and stop than to think about it, turn around, go get the picture or video, and then you have your family saying, don't turn around and take a picture of another Mustang. So this time I was prepared and ready, so I did. So I really like seeing that. It gives me motivation for my silver GT to get it back on the road, because it can look just like that. And then we stopped to get gas at this little gas station, and I saw these really cool planters that they look like they were wheel rims that they had converted into planters with flowers. Really nice. More desert thunderstorms out there. And I remember my dad always liking the science behind microbursts. He was a pilot, and he had a flight school, and he always talked about the weather and the storms and things. There was this fire here on the side of the road, and they had air tankers flying in to come down and put that out. So tried to get a little bit of footage of that. It was really interesting to see. But I've come through here before where there were downpours that were so hard that you had to slow down to 5 or 10 miles an hour and you couldn't even see the road in front of you, and you had the wipers on full blast. And there were a couple times with the youth trips that I went on where it just was a huge thunderstorm on the way home and microburst, just downpour. My siblings all remember a time where we got off the lake and it was pounding raining like that, just super crazy. And then we got out of it and it was clear. It was weird. It was just totally clear and dry. And we watched a whole pack of Harley Davidson motorcycles going the other way right into the storm, and we all wondered whether they made it or not because it was intense. And we just thought, wow, just so crazy and diverse. But anyway, there's the tanker out there trying to put out the fire, and there were some police vehicles and fire engines out here, so hopefully they put that out. There are a lot of fires around here too, because the lightning storms come through and they'll ignite a field or catch stuff on fire. And so nice to have air conditioning and going through this. It got back up into the hundreds and stuff again. And so now coming down back into the city of Hurricane, I love the view out here. This is so diverse, and this is back towards where we live, and so we share these mountain ranges. And I just wanted to record a little bit of this going down the hills and showing how nice it is, because this is really breathtaking, and it is a really nice view as you look off and see the communities down here below, these cities. So we got back into town and look, 110 degrees. It actually went up to 112 after that. So really hot, but beautiful again. Very happy to be home. Just driving back. This is where I drive to work every day, so my commute's there. There we go, 112 degrees. So we all went out for dinner and got ice cream. This is called a concrete. It's a really neat machine. It's frozen custard, and it is so good. I joke with my wife and say that it's like eating straight margarine, because that's how soft it is. It feels like it's like that. But it's really good and really creamy and nice, and we have toasted coconut in there. But anyway, just wanted to share that. Just ice cream makes everything better. That's what one of my companions on my church mission said. He'd always get ice cream at the end of the day and just say it makes it better. So anyway, just wanted to share a little bit about this trip, some of the terrain and diversity and beauty of Arizona and Utah, and try to give an idea of how special it is to me going out there. And you know, I'd rather be home with my cars and doing things, but it is good to take a break and go out and do things, and my family loves going out there, so it was just really fun to go do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the scenery and everything, and the update for the Tahoe, I guess, because I had to work on it on the road. Nice to have your tools with you all the time. And anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more Mustang and Tahoe content.